have been on a journey, and we have encountered many difficulties. We have picked up since that discussion many individuals, stakeholders have joined us on the journey. But ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to let you know that we are almost at the end, when the dream is about to become a reality. That's the reason why we have invited you, our friends, for this very special service of dedication for the Hemsley Johnson Home. And you may have heard that this is the site where the children's home will be established. You will agree with me, those of us who are familiar with this location, that we have almost everything here. Healthcare facility, security, communication, and there's also a church.
And here's an opportunity for us to touch lives, to give people a second chance, to not only engage in a ministry, in a spiritual ministry, and if you ask me, to address the physical needs of people is fulfilling really the mandate of Jesus Christ, to change people, to transform lives.
No child dropped out of the sky. Children were brought into this world by a male and a female, some of whom, for whatever reason, are no longer in their lives. This is where surrogate parenting has to step in to ensure that these children are protected from the evils of society, the ones that we would want our children, our relatives, or our children's friends to be rescued from.
Let us therefore make a positive mark on the lives of those who pass through these walls and through this village. And we pray that you will give your full support through your prayers, your gifts, and mentoring. I mentioned mentoring because that is very important. May God richly bless you, and may you continue to share your love as we care for the children of Jamaica land we love. Thank you.
As I talked with Elder Wellington, I said, you know, maybe I should try to build a hospital too in Jamaica. Well, when I said that, he says, I don't know, you're going to have competition, too much competition. Why don't you look at this idea, doing something for our children that are abandoned? And I said, oh yeah, oh that's an idea, yeah. But I'm an educator. One of the masters that I studied for said was for leaning toward children with disabilities, and I said, oh, no parents, you know, no home, no love, no good food, no hope, no clothes. Fantastic. Maybe this would be a good thing to do. So we talked more about it, and we actually got together on it. And we pulled some people in, and we talked more about it. And a niece of mine, who is the principal of a school in Jamaica, in Miami, very brilliant young lady, agreed to be our secretary. Carolyn McCullough. Fantastic lady. And she helped us in the selection of the name. Educational, she made sure we had that educational in it. Educational Foundation for Children's Care. And that's where that name came from. Right there. Of course, since we had the idea and we pulled it together, they elected me as the first president. It took us about 6 months to get ourselves established, about a year to get established, and then the 501c3 people, we applied to them and they say, oh, well, wait 6 months, you'll hear from us. And when we heard from them, it took them another 9 months before they said, yes, sure, here it is. And then the county required a special permit from us for us to do business. So that's another year. So we worked on it, and then I couldn't see anymore, and with great pains, I asked the only person I knew that I felt had the power and the strength and the wisdom and the concept to do it, and that's my friend, Elder Wellington.
Today, we are rejoicing. This long anticipated day, God has helped us to realize the beginning of a dream of the unfortunate, to help the unfortunate children of this land, who through no fault of their own are neglected or abused or abandoned or just simply left by the wayside. It's been a long journey of since the conception of the idea by Dr. Creary, who served as the first president of EFCCI, and myself, I think it was in the year 2002. Today that idea has come closer to reality with this dedicatory ceremony. Many, many persons here in Jamaica and overseas have shared the vision and have helped us along the way with valuable contribution of time, resources. Some are not even here with us today. And I think it would be good to make mention of some who gave critical support, of persons such as Pastor L.H. Fletcher, who was part of our first board. And many of you know him. Here in Jamaica, Mrs. Greta Robinson, who went to sleep, but a very critical support she gave us as well. And the gentleman we honor by naming the first house in this village after him, Hemsley Johnson, and his daughter Carol Miller. These come readily to mind. And unfortunately, these folks are no longer with us. ICC, International Children's Care, has committed itself to helping us with training and monitoring of whatever staff we may have, so that we will not only measure up to our local standards when we begin to operate fully, which are pretty high and needs to be because of the society in which we live, but we'll also be able to measure up to international standards. Our board has chosen to name the village the Alta Vista Children's Village, meaning literally a high view, which should inspire any disheartened child to become optimistic and hopeful about life, regardless of the circumstances that brought them here. It is our objective that we will give them a new vision of life and a new prospect of possibilities, that they do not have to look back to their past and worry about that, but embrace a future that you and all of us will be prepared to give them.
Children that otherwise, if there had been no intervention, probably would have ended up much like their other family in a cycle of poverty and crime. And you know how that goes. And sometimes I've talked with government officials and they say, you need to come to our country because we have a problem with teenagers and kids that are on the streets that are 16 and 17 years old. And I say to them, I have a solution for you. give me those children when they're 2 years old, and I'll keep them off the streets. And that's what you can do here. That's what you can do. You can take these children and you can show them a life that is better. Not only this life, though. That's the wonderful thing that you're going to do. You're not only going to save them for this life, you're going to introduce them to something much better, the hope for a future.